All right.
Okay.
Recording has started.
Perfect. Alright. I now call this August 11th, 2025 meeting into order. I apologize for the bit of wait there, but we were waiting for quorum. Thank you for all of you that were early. Good job. For those of you that weren't early, slightly of a good job. I'm sorry. Just a bit of a heads up. I am currently in the great outdoors, so if at any point you can't hear me right, please feel free to let me know. Okay. All right. So let's start with our land acknowledgements. We acknowledge that the Students' Union operates on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and the Inuit peoples. This land is part of the Hogmanay Tract, which is promised to the Six Nations, and we recognize the enduring presence of Indigenous peoples on this territory. Thank you. So for regrets, I have received regrets from Director Murphy, Director DiLolo, and Director Buludo are of this moment absent. Hopefully we will get to hear from them as soon as possible, and if not, that is a full reflection of the record. Uh, Perfect. Okay, and are there any conflicts of interest to declare? Nothing? Okay. And I do have to mention that Director Murphy sent his regrets and his hope that every one of us has had a great summer and continues to enjoy their last stretch of it. All right, then can I have a motion that the Board of Directors adopts the agenda as presented? Motion by Vice Chair Ferguson, seconded by Director Anas. Yes, Phil?
Were you going to ask for an amendment to the agenda as presented for that committee?
I was going to, but I think I'll extend it to September. So,
Oh, okay.
thank you. Okay, so motion by Vice Chair Ferguson and seconded by Director Anas. Is there any discussion on the matter? No, perfect. Yes, we go on to voting. Are any opposed? Any abstaining? And all those in favor? Okay, motion passes 0027. One second. Yeah, motion passes 0027. Perfect. And moving on to the meeting minutes approval, can I have a motion that the Board of Directors approve the July 14th, 2025 meeting minutes? Motion by Director Anas, seconded by Vice Chair Ferguson. Is there any discussion on the matter? No? Okay. Moving on to voting. Any opposed? Any abstaining? And all those in favor? Motion passes 0027. Thank you. Moving on to comments from the chair and CGO. I just first things wanted to say thank you all, and I hope that you've had a great summer so far. Thank you for coming to the meeting today. For those of you turning on your cameras, thank you so much. I'm glad that your cameras are working. Nice to see your faces. I love it. Uh, okay, now onto the agenda, onto what I had for the agenda today. I hope that your summers are great. Yes. I just wanted to report that since the last month when I talked about our director check-ins, I have so far met with 8 of our directors and also President Joby. It has been actually been a great initiative so far, and I've been very happy so far to talk to all of you and get to know all of you. Um, Knowing about your favorite drinks has been like the highlight of the meeting. Uh, some of your favorite drink orders, and so thank you all. And I know that I have 2 more left for the summer, so Director Rutherford and Director Murphy. I'll be meeting soon, I believe. And yeah, so I'm sure all of you have read the agenda, and we'll be discussing the fall schedule today. So I hope that you have your calendars and notes prepared. And with that being said, uh, moving on to comments from President Joby. How are you doing,
Thank you
buddy?
very much. Thank you, Lulia. Nice to see you guys, most of you virtually. And
Director Anas, nice to see you in person. I don't have too many updates for you guys today. The institution is in a bit of a slow period, as this is kind of the time where a lot of people within the institution are taking their vacations and soaking in that last little bit of time before the school year starts in September. So things have been a little bit slower on the institutional end of work, but still have some updates to provide for you guys. So I remember mentioning at the last meeting that the annual plans that myself and the team had been writing would be complete and able to present. However, we have decided to wait for Ian to come back to do some final edits and polishing before they get published, because his governance brain is definitely something that we wanted to consult before we put it out to our campus partners and outward towards students. So we've put that on hold, but he will be back as mentioned next week. So we're happy to have him back and consult our annual plan content with him before we publish that out again to campus partners and to students on our social medias. So that information can be and will be presented to you all at the September board meeting instead. In terms of some updates for institutional positions, more specifically the vice president positions, there's updates with all three of the positions, some kind of just building off the stuff that I mentioned at the last meeting. To start with the vice president academic position, Dr. Heidi Northwood is taking an academic sabbatical from this October to next year, March. So they will be gone for a good majority of the school year. And so in their absence, Dr. Trish McLaren will be acting as the interim vice president academic. The next vice president position update is regarding the vice president of finance and administration. So Pamela Kant and Zainab Dennis are the ones kind of tag teaming the interim components of the vice president finance and administration position, with that position hopefully having a replacement decision by the end of November. And for the vice president student affairs position, David McMurray, who was the interim vice president student affairs, has officially stepped away from the position. With that, Adam Lawrence, who was our current dean of students, is now doing the VPSA position in the interim, and Clayton McCourt and Melissa DeLeo, who both work in the Dean of Students office, are both going to be taking on a couple components of the Dean of Students profile and portfolio. And the replacement decision for that position should come at the end of October. Fingers crossed. And yes, knocking on wood. With that being said, also just wanted to give a quick note on my monitoring reports. I sincerely apologize for not having them had complete and provided on time. I do have them complete now with the adequate evidence. So if there are any questions as to compliance with any of that stuff, I'd be happy to answer it. But I would also like to bring forward to the board to just be able to present those officially as part of the agenda in the September meeting. Again, I do have them complete now. I was unfortunately not able to complete them prior to 48 hours from the meeting, and I do again sincerely apologize for that, but would be happy to answer any of the questions pertaining to any executive limitations that were to be completed for this meeting.
Thank you, President Joby. Are there any questions for President Joby at this moment? No? Okay. Thank you, Brian, for that.
Sorry, also, I just have one more thing to mention. Sorry, really quickly, I just remembered. At the last meeting as well, there was something that was mentioned as part of the monitoring report that I provided at the last meeting. That amendment has been made, and I have given the updated version to Manjot. So, Corey, I know you mentioned that there was a part that was missing. I just submitted the wrong version to Manjot, so I gave them the right one. That one is completed. So, just wanted to ensure that that has also been done.
Thank you. I did have a question. It's your last report, you talked about the Belmont and its renovations as well. Have those been done?
The Belmont renovations are still underway. I transparently do not know I believe Phil has a better answer for that he can provide on the progress.
Yeah, everything is going according to plan. In fact, I say this very cautiously. We've been told that they're about 2 days ahead of schedule. So everything's looking positive for a September launch. We're really excited for this coming year for the Belmont.
Thank you. Alrighty, thank you, President Joby. Is there no? We will be going to Phil. And Phil, welcome back.
Thank you very kindly. Just a few kind of high level things to update. Hiring has been a mixed bag this summer. We at the beginning of the summer had about 6 positions on the full-time staff that were vacant. We have successfully filled 2 of 6 so far. 2 offers went out that were declined by candidates, so we have reposted those positions. Specifically, those are the hospitality general manager here on the Waterloo campus, as well as the digital content creator for the marketing department. The programming and events manager, the offers for one-way interviews went out last week, and we are waiting until Wednesday to kind of review those and offer in-person interviews to hopefully no more than 5 candidates. But we do have a lot of really talented candidates, so I'm very confident that we'll be able to get somebody very strong into those positions. And then once the school year starts, we'll turn our focus on to the Director of Student Experience vacancy and fill that with a strong leader at that time. Rubrik work is ongoing. For those that don't know, Rubrik is the company that is replacing the club's management software that we've been calling the Nest for the last handful of years. So we will be moving on from our original software supplier to a company called Rubrik, and that work is on pace to be ready to go, I think, mid-fall. But Tony Massey is the project manager on that, and everything seems to be going along swimmingly on that, as again, I gently knock on wood. Orientation programming is well underway, and we're really looking excited to 2 weeks. 1 week in Brantford, obviously, and 1 week in Waterloo, and 1 day in Milton. The orientation programs will look pretty traditional, and a return to the color teams. We're pretty excited to welcome a brand new class of first-year students and looking forward to everything that program has to offer. ICT has done some high-level consultation on a couple of projects that this group might be specifically excited to partake in. The first one is a review of academic advising and looking at some tools that can help centralize and better offer academic advising across the board for all of our undergraduate students. So I suggested to them that they might have an opportunity to come and talk to the board of directors in the fall specifically, to kind of get their feedback on the current status of academic advising and what potential tools could be used to help improve that service across the board. The second project, which we just had a meeting with this morning, is they're planning to bring the Loris system into the 21st century. I'm sure you've all had your challenges with it and noticed that it has a very 1990s aesthetic to it. For those of you that have seen videos of what the 1990s web looked like, it is a very 1990s looking product, and they're looking to bring that into the current day. And so I thought that those would be 2 subjects that the board would be very interested in kind of having a conversation with ICT about. So I'm happy to have a discussion on that when we're done chatting with this. And yeah, that's about it. All the rest of the updates were posted in the operational updates as OG and PG. Manjot put that on the agenda as a discussion item, but I don't need to discuss either of those unless there are questions specifically about any of those updates.
Thank you, Phil, for that update. Are there any questions for Phil at this as of this moment? No. I'm coming back.
I don't speak canine, I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, this dog next to me, I think, is very much interested in board governance. It just keeps barking, unfortunately. Shut up. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so thank you, Phil. With that being said, I think we're gonna go to the Senate updates. So take it away.
Okay, if everybody's read the brief that was part of the package, it's pretty straightforward. We have had a Brantford student senator step down as they were unable to fulfill their needs, and we need to formally post a notice for applications for folks that are interested that are students on the Brantford campus and willing to be part of the Student Senate. Ultimately, we need you guys to kind of present the motion, pass the motion, and we will work with marketing this week to kind of put out a notice to try to get submissions in before the September 8th board meeting. And then at the September 8th board meeting, we will invite candidates to the meeting to present themselves, and you guys will ultimately vote as to which one will fill that vacancy. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward stuff. We've done lots of this things before. The term ends June 30th, 2027. And applications would be due Wednesday, September 3rd at just before noon. Happy to answer any questions if there are any. Otherwise, feel free to make the motion.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions for Phil? Vice Chair Phil?
Hey Phil, just a quick question. So I know you just said that you kind of just answered it by going to marketing, but I'm just curious since that's some like who knows, maybe some people aren't on campus by then. Is there any there or sorry, maybe some people are on campus and not really looking at other spaces. Is that gonna be incorporated as well in terms of advertisement on campus and off campus ad?
Yeah, typically the marketing of that particular position won't be on us alone. We will definitely take the lead on that. The Secretariat's office will expand that and send out an email blast to all Brantford students. And we can work with our partners over in Student Affairs to kind of use their communication channels as well. We may even be able to look into My Learning Space to see if that's an opportunity. But this message will go out far and wide to all students that are on the Brantford campus.
Awesome, thanks.
Thank you so much. If there aren't any further questions, I guess we'll move on to voting. So can I have a motion that the Board of Directors approves the Senate by-election for Brantford until the September meeting? Motion by Vice Chair Ferguson, seconded by Director Rutherford. Thank you. Is there any discussion on the matter? No. Oh. I guess we'll move on to voting then. Are any opposed? Any abstaining? And all those in favor? Adam? Okay. And then the motion passes 0-0-7. Thank you. Okay, and then I guess we'll be moving on to the Ownership Linkage Committee updates. Director Ward, please take. Director Adam Ward, please take the Ownership Linkage Committee update. Director Adam David Ward, come on, buddy.
Ground control to Director Ward.
Director Adam David Ward, who's paying attention to this meeting.
He was just here a second ago. I saw him.
He was here. Okay, and then if Director Adam Ward is not taking the is not here, would Director Anas, who's the co-chair of the Ownership Linkage Committee, want to take it further? Come on, who's faster?
He just needs a second to gather himself here.
Director Lulia, oh sorry, Chair Lulia, can we please like push this below, like later on the agenda? Like maybe like 5 minutes later.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm feeling very gracious today. I will allow it. But okay. And then I guess we will just go to Phil, do you want me to go through the monitoring report first before you start your updates? Is that okay with you?
I mean, technically that's the order of things, but it's up to you. I'll do whatever you want.
Okay. All right, then I'll go with the monitoring reports. So, my directors, I went through the monitoring reports of GP2E, which is Vice Chair job description, GP2K, Global Governance Process 2K, and GP2D. They were pretty much on it. I don't think there were any non-compliances as they were last for the last modern report. To be very like direct and fair with you guys, I do know that like some of the policies we're talking about things that will be happening in the future. So they said will happen. For example, it talks about like from GP2E, talking about like the tracking mechanism. I still let them go through and make them compliant because I think that we will have them scheduled and so we know that they will be happening at some point, as opposed to just staying non-compliant because they haven't happened yet. I will continue with such a way of doing my my modern reports for the rest of the year, and so I hope that this K9 really loves board governance, guys. Come on. Anyways, so yeah, I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm in Niagara Falls at the moment, and so that's why it's like whatever. So please forgive my incompetence there. But yeah, that is it. Are there any questions about my modern reports? Any questions so far? No? Okay, perfect. And I do believe that we have to take this to a vote. So can I have a motion that the Board of Directors approve the monitoring reports of GP2E, GP2K, and GP2D? Motioned by Director Anas, seconded by Vice Chair Ferguson. Is there any discussion on the matter? No? Okay. Then I guess we can proceed to voting. So, are there any of those opposed? Any abstaining? And any, and all those in favor? Thank you. Motion passes 0027. Good job. Welcome back, Dr. Adam David Ward. I'm very happy you could be here on time.
My apologies. Sorry, did I miss the update on the report there? I was grabbing a drink.
Yes, we did.
Could I
However,
still give that report, or is that now over?
yes, we'll be giving you a report.
My apologies. All right, I'll be giving it now?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. My apologies about the absence, everyone. I'm Adam Ward. I wasn't at the last LLC meeting. I was working there. Let me just have my notes here. So from what I heard, the meeting went very well. We were able to create some great plans. So basically, we began brainstorming event ideas, engagement strategies for the upcoming year. We were focusing on accessible, casual, and campus-specific programming initiatives. So we're focusing on both Waterloo and Brantford for our upcoming initiatives, basically increasing board visibility and student interaction. So just quickly, what we went over on the 21st meeting, we wanted to organize just a casual event, like a meet of the directors, drop in at the Wilf's Cafe where students can join directors for snacks and informal conversations, basically just to get to know us a little bit more. And all the apps will be paid for by the committee. Secondly, we will be planning an event based on social, basically just an activity-based social event with the directors, i.e. bowling, billiards, sports, basically something just to kind of have a personal interaction with the students there. We'll also be reintroducing a Brantford campus trivia night, which had really good engagement in the past, offering small gift cards as prizes. So hopefully we can return with that same engagement, get more people involved with the directors, and hopefully bring that back to Brantford there. We want to do in-class trivia games where directors will visit lectures briefly to ask fun questions, give out small gift cards, really help with the awareness of what the directors are. Kind of our main goal, just getting the word out there to students, getting people excited about directors. And then finally, we'll be finalizing a full list of events by August, and building an action plan to guide the committee's work through the academic year. Just some action items we have. So finalize the event list for 2025-2026 academic year, create an action plan for the year by August, schedule club fair events once timing is confirmed, and reach out to potential partners/sponsors regarding gift card donations. And then a recommendation here. I recommend the board review and provide feedback on the preliminary event list and engagement strategy. Input on prioritizing events or partnerships would be especially helpful as the committee prepares the full year action plan in August. Respectively submitted by Swab and Nas, co-chair. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Director Ward. Are there any questions? No? Any suggestions or any recommendations? Vice Chair Ferguson?
Yeah, I was just figuring how to formulate it. Just a quick question in terms of potential sponsors is personally, I don't know, and I just kind of want to know, is there anything that is off limits in terms of what we can do in terms of sponsorship? Or is it?
I'm not too familiar with the sponsors myself. I would have to refer to Lulia on that one, just regarding what sponsors we can and can't access, whether they're appropriate or not for the school. But we will definitely figure that out for sure. Lulia, do you have anything to add to that question? Or my co-chair Swab, if he has any input.
Okay. To the best of my knowledge, I do not even think we can get sponsors, because this is an internal board matter. The board committee. However, to be 100% sure, you can ask Phil as well. Phil?
Yeah, we definitely have policies operationally on sponsors, and there are some limitations both internally to the Students' Union and externally within the Laurier realm. Just as an easy example off the top of my head, for example, we're not allowed to use tobacco sponsorship. We're not allowed to use alcohol sponsorship outside of our areas that are licensed. So inside Wilson, the Turret, we can have alcohol sponsors, but outside we can't. And then cannabis is a very significant gray area at the moment where the university typically takes a hard line against it, but hasn't explicitly said that because the opportunity hasn't presented itself. Beyond that, would try to take it on a case-by-case basis. So we would need to see a list and kind of what the proposals are in order to be able to approve those.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions for Director Ward? Okay, I can see none. Thank you, Director Ward, for your report.
Again, apologies for my lateness there on that report, but happy to help.
No worries, thank you. Okay. And then I guess we're going to the OG and TG board updates from from Phil.
So as I mentioned during my updates, those aren't supposed to be oral updates for discussion. Those are supposed to be written updates as part of the agenda package. So if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to take them. Otherwise, we can move on.
Are there any questions for Phil about the updates? Vice Chair Ferguson?
Yeah, I feel like I'm talking a lot. That's my bad. Maybe this is a stupid question. But it's not explicitly said, so I thought I'd just kind of ask for whether it is. Section 8.1 of the updated agreement states that essentially that all parties are responsible for ensuring that distribution is met, and I'm wondering whether that's going to change or if it's going to still be valid within the Wilfrid Laurier University one card. Yeah, there we go.
Sorry, are you referencing the UPass or the OG updates?
I'm referencing the UPass.
Oh, okay. Are we on UPass?
Think so.
Oh,
Not yet.
my mistake. I definitely thought
Not on UPass yet.
Wait, we're not on UPass?
we're not on UPass yet. But sorry,
Not yet.
what was your question? That's for the Grand River Transit 8.1?
Yeah, that's for 8.1.
And sorry, what is the question that you're specifically asking?
It states that all parties are responsible for ensuring the distribution of those passes, and I'm wondering whether it's changing from previous years or if it's still remaining to be one card.
No, it's definitely staying with the one card, and ultimately will be tap access every semester, probably a couple times a semester. That list gets updated as add drops happen. But the system between GRT and the one card office is pretty locked down at this point.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you, Phil and Vice Chair Ferguson for that. Since we've already got to the GRT UPass report, are there, I guess, so you can like give us your reporting.
If that was for us here in the boardroom, we did not register that. Sorry.
No worries. Okay, I'll try to be louder. I was just saying, since we've already got to the UPass discussion, Phil, can you give us your report on the UPass?
Okay, that I can do. So we'll start one at a time. We'll do GRT first since it's first on the agenda. That is the result of the referendum that passed this past January to extend that agreement another 5 years. There hasn't been a lot of negotiation on the actual agreement itself. It's a pretty standard student organization agreement that GRT has put together across the 3 schools that are in the region. We did add that we want mandatory ridership data per term so that we can ensure that the Laurier students are getting their fair share of what that agreement is offering them. And then in the event that we're not, we can definitely work with GRT to figure out how better serve our Laurier students. Other than that, the fees were kind of presented, and it's, for all intents and purposes, performative. I know that's probably sounds bad, but ultimately there's not a lot of room to negotiate with GRT on this, and the referendum passed pretty overwhelmingly. So it's just up to you guys. We can definitely answer any questions that you have. But other than that, we're just hoping that the board will endorse this so that Ryan can kind of sign off on the agreement.
Thank you. Are there any other questions on the matter for Phil? No? Okay. Looks like you're having an easy time, Phil. So I guess we'll move on to voting then. Can I have a motion permitting the president and CEO to extend the Grand River Transit Universal Pass Agreement for the duration of 1 academic year to expire April 30th, 2026? Motion by Dr. Anas, seconded by Vice Chair Ferguson. Oh, Vice Chair Ferguson. Is there any discussion on the matter? No. Okay, and then I guess we'll move on to voting. So all those opposed, all those abstaining, and all those in favor. Motion passes 0-0 to 7. Thank you. Hey, Phil.
Okay, the next one is the Brant Transit UPass, which is a far easier negotiation. Ultimately, the agreement's not going to change a whole lot. They are a very agreeable people. Unfortunately, we don't have an agreement ready to go because of how slow and non-responsive they've been. They're a little bit more laid back than the GRT folks. And one of the challenges that we faced with ICT this year is Brant Transit wants to use a smartphone app for rider ID authentication, which is a big problem for them. But unfortunately, the provider of the app doesn't have the privacy settings to Laurier standards yet. So they are working very closely with ICT to kind of get that off the ground. The hope is that that program will be ready to go at some point in the fall, but it will not be ready for September. So what we're asking for is board approval to sign a 1-year agreement extending the old agreement, which is just a visual confirmation with the Laurier One card that you can kind of ride on the transit system in Brantford, and that when that smartphone gets privacy approval from ICT for Laurier, and ultimately all our Laurier students will have their privacy concerns addressed, that agreement will then come back to the board, be signed, and ultimately replace the 1-year agreement that we're asking for permission to sign off today. And again, unfortunately, because of vacation, et cetera, from Brant Transit, we don't actually have an agreement for you guys to look at. All we have is the old agreement that we've used with updated numbers inside the brief. But Brant Transit is a very easy group to work with and have been very amenable. So it is our recommendation that you vote yes on approving the 1-year extension of the agreement.
Okay, thank you, Phil. Are there any questions on the matter? Okay, thank you. So just to clarify, Phil, you needed like a vote, right? A motion to pass it?
Correct.
Okay. So can I get a motion that the board approves the extension for 1 academic year of the UPass, of the Brantford UPass agreement until such time as an agreement is presented to the board next year? Motion by Director Anas, seconded by Vice Chair Ferguson. Is there any discussion on the matter? No, okay, I guess we'll move on to voting. So all those abstaining, all of those in favor, all of those opposed, and all those in favor. Motion passes 0-0 to 7. Thank you. Uh, all right, and then what else is on the agenda? I believe then we'll be discussing the fall meeting schedule for next year. As of right now, our September meeting is scheduled for September 8th, I believe, which is a Monday at 7 p.m. I believe earlier in the summer we talked about having Mondays at 7 p.m. be our fall meeting times. I just wanted to clarify, since most of you already have their schedules at the moment, do Mondays at 7 p.m. still work for everyone here? And will almost everyone here be able to attend the September 8th? That's the other part. This is where you guys show me your hands and say yes, you will be able to attend September 8th. Vice Chair Ferguson, thank you, Dr. Rutherford. Thank you. I know that Director Sugano won't be able to make it. Director Zhao and Director Anas. Good, perfect.
I don't think I can make the 7 p.m.
Your mic is cut off, my friend.
I don't think I can make the 7 p.m. Monday meeting because I do have class around that time. So yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So we have about 2 directors that have classes on Mondays at 7 p.m. Please at the September meeting. So at this point, that means that we have an option of changing. But since 3 of our directors aren't here today as well, we won't have like an actual input without missing. So as of right now, we have Director Anas and Director Sugano that will be missing the September 8th meeting. One second. Okay. I vote that we keep the September 8th meeting as of right now, the way it is. And then once we have all of our directors present, we can decide on if we wish to change it, because then we'll have a better understanding of our. Yes, Ryan? Oh, okay. I thought you were coming close to the mic, but you're not. Okay. Do you guys have any other opinions, or do you think we should change the date? What about Mondays at 8 p.m.? Does that work for everyone? No? No, okay. Bad. All right, perfect. Okay then. Okay then. I vote we keep the September 8th meeting for now. And then on the September meeting, we will discuss the fall meeting schedule. I know that Dr. Anas and Dr. Sugana won't be able to make it, so I asked that beforehand you send me your schedules and what days and times might work best for all of you. That being said, is that okay with you guys? Do we have a thumbs up? I don't think this needs like a motion either. Yeah? Okay. Any last comments, questions? Anything of the sort? No? Okay. Then with that, then we'll be heading out to adjournment. I don't have any other announcements or any action items. So yeah, let's head on to adjournment then. Can I have a motion that the board adjourns the August 11th, 2025 meeting? Motion by Director Weatherford, seconded by Director Anas. Is there any discussion on the matter? No? Yes, Vice Chair Ferguson?
Sorry, weren't we doing financial committee elections?
Yeah, no. We're doing that as,
No? Okay, cool.
yes. We were supposed to be discussing this meeting, but for various reasons, we will be moving it to the September meeting. At that point, which we will discuss the finance meeting. Okay, so back to adjournment then. If there's no other questions, we will be moving to voting. All of those abstaining. All of those opposed. And all those in favor. Perfect. Adam. Dr. Wood. I'm
Sorry,
guessing
my
that's a
camera's
yes.
not turning on. I vote in favor.
Okay. Then motion passes 0027. Thank you all so much. And I'll see you all in the September 8th meeting. Okay. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.